Dottie, and I am the brightest star. Welcome to another edition of Metaphysics and Makeup, where we get weird. Basically, everything that Bailey Sarian doesn't talk about over there, we talk about over here. So, let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about intuition and like spiritual beliefs and how the two of them are kind of combined. Look at this beautiful palette, by the way. Like, I've never showed you guys the palettes that I work with, but these are the two main palettes that I work with. Aren't they just gorgeous? So many colors. I love colors. Anyways, let's get into it. Have you ever wondered what your purpose is? I almost messed up. Do y'all see that? I'm gonna put no primer on my face, and we know that I always start with the primer. But have you ever wondered basically what your soul's purpose or have you ever wondered what the purpose of your life is and how it is that you can learn basically what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime? Because a lot of us are running around unhappy in this world, and part of the reason why we're unhappy is because we're not living according to basically the blueprint of our life. When I say blueprint, I'm not saying that you just have one purpose. I actually heard recently, because I listen to a lot of like motivational speaking, and I was listening to Steve Harvey, and he says basically that like your purpose is like a tree, and on a tree it has a lot of branches, and these branches will venture off into certain things. So our main goal in this lifetime is to help the collective consciousness. However, we all have our main purpose when it comes to helping the collective consciousness. So Steve Harvey, he talks about how basically when it comes to his purpose, it is a comedian. And through him being a comedian, it has opened the doors for him to be able to do movies, TV shows, for him to be able to be a motivational speaker so he can help others to fulfill their purpose in life. And I thought that that was an amazing way to break it down. However, your soul knows all the things that it is that you are supposed to be doing. And that's why learning how to connect with your intuition is so key, really, when it comes down to it, is because it helps you to be able to connect with yourself and the purpose that it is that you have. And during this lifetime, though everyone is able to connect to their intuition and their purpose in like different ways, the main goal is for us to help the collective consciousness. And like I said, everybody has their own way of being able to do this, but part of the goal is for us to connect with our psychic gifts and understand that everybody's psychic gifts are going to lead them in different ways. For instance, I talk about this in my book, The Stardust That Made You, but I talk about how, for instance, Aries are very prophetic. That's why it seems like Aries are so all over the place, is because they get something that it is that their brain tells them or their intuition tells them, like, this is a good idea, and they just go for it. And that is them living according to their own purpose. And it's super important, especially when it comes to signs like that or people like that, is to just go for what it is that your intuition is telling you. This is one of the keys to really tapping into your intuition and yourself. So one of the first things that you should do when you're learning how to tap into your intuition is, honestly, I don't even remember what color I just used. Okay. One of the first things to do when you're learning how to tap into your intuition or any of the things is learning what your spiritual beliefs are and asking yourself, what are my spiritual beliefs? Like, what do I believe in? Is it a religion that my family handed down to me? Like, everybody in my life has been a Baptist, and we all go to this one church that my great grandfather was part of. And it's just something that's been given to you. Is this something that you've learned along your own way? Are you more of a spiritual person? And then what are the beliefs that you've picked up through spirituality? What is it that you truly 100%, this is gold for me? That is important to know, because this is something that's going to help you to be able to really tap in. So when it comes down to those who have more of spiritual beliefs as opposed to having, or when it comes to those who have more of a religious belief as opposed to having a spiritual belief, you will find that they fall into basically one of two categories. The first category is authoritative beliefs. So these are the ones we all know so well, whether we're a part of them or not, but we all know of Christianity and basically the whole idea that if you do something wrong, you're going to hell. There's no way around it. You're going to hell. The Jesus is not happy with you, and all of the things. And this is really rooted and based in fear. And this type of fear is what has led us to have things like the Salem witch trials, where we ended up killing a bunch of different people just because they had learned how to tap into, or whatever the case was, because there's different accounts on what happened when it really comes down to it. But this is the type of belief system where a lot of the times you are not able to tap into your gifts, and you're told that your gifts are something from the devil and that you're going to hell if you learn how to use them. And I know personally this was something that really bothered me when I first got into spirituality and started going in a different path than what I was basically taught growing up, because I grew up very Christian family, and it was something that really, it stopped me from like working with different deities. It put like a damper on me really learning how to use my intuitive gifts, because I was afraid that I was going to go to hell because of the things that I was doing, even though I knew and I felt that what I was doing was right in my own heart. But with this being said, I came to remember that in the New Testament, it basically talks about how people have spiritual gifts and how everyone is supposed to use their spiritual gifts in their own way. And it was something that I really had to take some time to come to my own understanding of. And it wasn't easy by any means, because in all actuality, like I said, growing up one way and then kind of going completely against what it was that I was taught, it really did take a toll on me for a little bit. And it took me some time to really just be like, you know what, I'm not wrong in what it is that I believe and how it is that I'm going about my belief systems. So the other kind of spiritual belief system is permissive. So this belief system isn't rooted in fear. It's not, oh my goodness, you're doing something wrong and you're going to hell, or something bad's going to happen. It's more so every mistake that you make is a chance to learn more about yourself and to deepen your connection with whatever it is that you believe in, and that everybody has their own right to believe the way that they want to believe. And I honestly, this is why I have found myself really being drawn to like Hinduism, because Hinduism basically is that, exactly that. Like, everybody is entitled to their own beliefs. This is how I believe. If you don't want to believe that way, then bless, have a great day, do your own thing. And just knowing that everybody is entitled to their own way of being and their own way of living. And I think that is absolutely amazing. And we need more of that in our lives. Another thing about more permissive beliefs is that they allow you the ability to be able to tap into whatever it is, your spiritual gifts, and being able to learn more about yourself through your gifts. like I said, too many times when it comes to like Christianity, and I'm not here to rag on Christianity, it's just the fact that a lot of people have been afraid to move forward just because of Christian beliefs, because they aren't taught the whole story. So at no point am I ragging on Christianity. I'm just speaking my own truth through it. So these permissive beliefs really help you to be able to tap into your own guidance system, which is something that I absolutely love. And I think that more people should be able to really know this because, you know, as a Christian, I know that a lot of people will talk about like, oh, they heard you'll hear a lot of people talk about how they heard the voice of God and it led them to do X, Y, and Z. Well, not everybody has the gift of clairaudience where you're able to hear. And some people, it will be something else that comes in and shows them the way that they're supposed to be doing something. And I think too many times we really do get caught up on the idea of, oh, well, it has to be this way because that's how this person went through their whatever. And it's like, no, everybody has their own way of connecting. And I think that's what's super important to know and to realize as you learn about your gifts is that everybody is going to connect in different ways. So let's talk a little more about intuition. So have you ever, be doing all the things over here. So have you ever had like a feeling that this isn't like everybody wants to go do something and you're like, no, that's just not a good idea. And you end up not going. And then everybody who went tells you like, oh my goodness, something absolutely horrible happened. Yeah, that was your intuition. That was telling you like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. And, or another way that this happens is you'll take and the phone will ring and you'll know who's calling before you even pick up the phone. These are all ways that your inner guidance system is helping you to be able to navigate the world around you. And understand as you're learning about your intuition, it really is about learning how to trust yourself. Because there will be times where something comes through and it's strange. It's something that's completely out of the normal. It's not something that you would normally do. It's not a place that you would normally go. But in following it, you end up with the best outcome that you could have had. And this is a really important part of building your intuition. And like I said, sometimes it can be really strange. But you've got to learn how to trust yourself and to trust in this guidance system that's leading you in the right direction, whether it feels like it or not at the time. It's important as you do this to learn how to truly pay attention, because sometimes you'll ask for a message and it doesn't come in right away. It's like, okay, well, I asked for an answer and I don't get it. But then later on, someone will be talking about the exact same thing that you were just talking about, giving you the answers to your question, and it just came in a different way. So it's really important to be open. Another part of it is not reading too much into things that aren't there. And I know this can be one of the hardest parts. What I do is I ask for a definitive answer. So something that I've been doing for years now, even when I was a Christian, I was doing it, is I will ask the universe, God, my angels, I will ask them for an answer to a question. And what I do is I use cards. So I'll ask a question before I leave the house. And if the first card I see out of like the two cards, because I have Challengers for no and I have Camaros for yes. So if I see a Camaro, then I know the answer to my question is yes. If I see a bunch of Camaros, that's telling me that I'm like on the right path and that I'm doing the right thing. So this is just something that I've been doing for years, and have fun with it. Ask for different symbols. You know, sometimes me and my friend will like set up little things, you know, that we'll just tell each other, and we'll be like, okay, well, I'm looking for an infinity symbol. And she'll be like, oh, I'm looking for someone in a pink shirt. And we will just go about our day. And then the first thing that we see, the first time that we see it, it'll bring back that memory of the question that it was that we asked. And like, oh, snap, the universe then got my back. We're going to have to get really intimate because Dottie's half blind and she hasn't been wearing her glasses. I have not been wearing my glasses like all day long. Like, I don't know why. I don't know where they are. I don't know if I had them before my shower or not. I'll find them at some point before I leave the house. However, it's important to just be open to receive these messages and not to put too much pressure on yourself. Because if you put too much pressure on yourself, then you will in turn create resistance, which in itself will create a blockage in your intuition. And really, that's not what it is that we're going for. We want to be on the path of least resistance so that we can receive these messages as they will come through, because they will come through. You just have to be open to receive them. And know that they're not always going to come through meditation. And also remember that your intuition is connected to your 5 senses. So you may ask a question and then next thing you know, you have like a picture come to mind and it pertains to something that you were talking about. Or you have a song that pops in your head, or you have a dream. Just be open and understand that the universe is going to give you your answers in its own timing. You can't rush divine timing, because sometimes we'll ask for something and if it comes in too soon, we're just not ready for it. So don't rush it and allow the universe to really work in your favor, because the universe is always working in your favor. Remember that. So a really good way to start tapping into your intuition is by taking and setting up time to meditate every day. Setting up time to meditate every day. It can help if you choose the same time each day. Like every day at 10 o'clock, I'm going to set aside 10 minutes to meditate. And you don't have to do it at 10 o'clock. It can be before bed. And allowing your intuition to truly connect itself to you, because it will do that. And as you meditate, just know that it's not about shutting everything out. Remember, I'm going to talk about this a lot. It is not about shutting everything out. Too many times when we first start meditating, because so-and-so said that you're just supposed to block out the world, we try and block out the world and the world just seems to get louder, and we give up because we just don't think that we're able to meditate because we're not able to block out the world. It is not about blocking out the world. Remember in the last video, I talked about the Tinder method. Swiping right on the things that we want to come back to. Swiping left on the things that don't matter. It does not matter about the dancing bananas, okay? Dancing bananas are not important. If you start meditating, you see dancing bananas, just be like, damn it, Dottie. I will take blame for your brain going to dancing bananas. I really will. And definitely come back and be like, Dottie, how dare you put dancing bananas in my brain? Now every time I meditate, that's the first thing I see. Ha ha ha. That being said, just remember that it's about focusing on your breath. Focus on your breath. Relax. I know this one is probably the hardest one for me, because I am now learning how to live in feminine energy. It's not something that came first nature to me. I've always lived very much in masculine energy. That's just me and my energy, and I have no problem with it. However, I've learned that living in masculine energy takes you away from your intuition, and that's never where it is that you want to be. So just remember this as you move forward and you start to learn more about yourself and how it is that you're receiving the answers that you're looking for. Because as I've said, everyone is going to get answers in their own way. You know, for some people, if they're asking for peace, they'll see butterflies. For some people, it may just be like a song that comes through and it brings them peace and brings them to a new level. That's okay too. Just know that everything is not meant for everyone to be the same way. The only thing that is really important is that we learn how to tap in to this part of ourselves, however that may be, because everybody is going to do things differently. Everyone's intuition is different. Just like not two people are not going to see things the same way, even though they may have similar view on things. They might be standing right next to each other. However, I'm going to see something in a different detail than you're going to be able to see them. Maybe I have glasses on. Maybe I don't have glasses on. You know, where you have 20/20 vision. And there's nothing wrong with either side. Both sides are right. It's just about the way your intuition connects with with the information that you're receiving. Okay, so when you go to meditate, there is like this 5-step method that the book that I'm going off of is teaching. And basically during it, you take and you breathe, okay? And you start counting. 1, as I breathe in, I breathe out tension, and allow yourself to relax from certain parts of your body, starting with your head. You know, starting with your shoulders up. I release all the tension from my shoulders up. When you get to 2, release all the tension from your arms. When you get to 3, release the tension from your chest down to your navel. Breathe. When you get to 4, release the tension from your navel down to your ankles. Breathe. When you get to 5, or when you get to 1, that's where you basically are completely engulfed in this energy, and you're able to fully relax into whatever it is that the universe has for you. And just remember, once you get there, don't be afraid to allow your thoughts to fly. Because sometimes, even as we focus on our breathing, these thoughts will come in. And sometimes they're good thoughts. They're things that we should be thinking about. Sometimes the answers that we're seeking are in those thoughts. And that's why I don't necessarily believe that we should That's why I don't necessarily believe that we should completely block out our thoughts. Also, when it comes down to receiving messages, start paying attention to the world around you. Maybe you asked a question and you haven't gotten the answers yet, and you're seeing repeating numbers. Well, repeating numbers are normally a sign from your angels or your guides, whoever it is that you connect with. That's why it's so important to know what your belief is. Ooh, this orange is a little too orangey. Bless my soul. Let's figure that out. But pay attention to angel numbers, because angel numbers are a sign of synchronicity. This is a sign that you are in alignment and that your angel guides are giving you an answer. So the first thing that I do, or your guides are trying to talk to you. And the first thing that I do is say I see 111. Okay, I will look up the answer for 111, and then I will add 111. 111 is 3. So look up what angel number 3 means. Or like 444. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12. And then you break it down. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So be mindful of these messages that may come through. Be mindful of these messages that may come through, because they may come through in ways you can't imagine at the moment. Or like I said before, it could be you asking a question and then you all of a sudden hear somebody else talking about what you were talking about, and it's like, whoa, how did you know this? How did you know that? And just understand that when this happens, it's your guides or whoever it is that you connect with telling you that they have your back and they have your best interest at heart. I have a dog. It happened when she was really young, so it's not something she did recently, but still, I have a dog. So just know that whoever it is that you connect with are showing you the way to go, the right way that you're supposed to be going. So a quick little story about something that happened to me and like just a crazy synchronicity. So I'm sitting, a friend of mine contacts me and she's like, hey, I'm just having a really hard day. I'm in a radio on this app that we frequent. Will you come in and just talk to me? And I'm talking to her and I'm, just kind of distracting her from her life. And I'm telling her about some of the plans that I have and how I was thinking about calling a family member of mine and seeing if I could borrow some money so I would be able to do the things that I was planning on. Well, in showing up for her, a friend of mine saw that I was online. And a few months beforehand, I had told my friend, I was like, you're about to receive a huge blessing. Just be on the lookout for it. I had put it out of my mind and had moved on with life. He comes in and he's like, Dottie, you need to effing smile more. And he ended up giving me more than what it was that I was needing to be able to do what it was that I needed to do. And I just started bawling because he was nowheres around. He didn't know what it was that I was talking about. He didn't know what my plans were. But the synchronicity that came in was, he was basically like, you've been a blessing to me. You've helped me, and have never asked for anything in return. And this is what I can do for you in return, And it just, I can't even lie. I cried like fucking baby because I was like, oh my God, you just changed my whole life. Big ass baby. I'm such a big ass baby. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I cry over nouns. Like, I have a Cancer moon, and that Cancer moon makes me overly emotional sometimes. And I'll just be stupid things. I once cried because a friend of mine told me that she got a good deal on a mattress. I kid you not. I cried for like 10 whole minutes because I was like, that is such a beautiful story. And even she was like, I didn't even cry over that. I'm like, I know. Alrighty, guys. Definitely let me know how this helped, if it helped. And stay tuned because I have like 4 scripts. So I'm going to make sure that we get all of these going out and about. I have collective readings that are coming out, pick a cards that are coming out. Make sure to follow me over on the TT so you can see all the other stuff that I be posting and like the little thoughts. I do compilation videos. I'm gonna start doing those a little more often over here just so you guys can get like little taste of me and my energy. Alrighty guys, have a great day. Bye.